And record from the phone. Yay. All right. So we'll just see if anybody else is able to pop on.
Exactly.
We were at Monster Jam, Monster Trucks.
Oh, sounds fun.
Yeah. So it was, I had no idea how long it was gonna go. And so apparently we even left a little bit early, but okay. We're not even that, well, I guess we're 20 minutes from home, but yeah, I wanted to talk about a couple of things because it feels like forever since we've had our calls.
Yeah. Well, you've been you've been busy.
Well, it's a busy season for a lot of people. I know ultimately this is a bad time of week for Gabby. Anastasia is going through some personal things, selling a house, things like that.
Yep.
Angie's son is in wrestling competitions and stuff, so
Yeah.
they're wild and crazy. And so we just for everybody else, it's just hit or miss whether or not they're available.
Exactly.
So, but I was really thinking about just network marketing successful teams in general, and just how there's this huge difference between teams that are like connected and intertwined and friends and like have this deeper connection than like work related,
Exactly.
and they do really well. And then there's this other type of team where it is all business and they treat everybody as their business partners and not friends. And so it's like both of those types seem to do really well. But if it's not a clear intention in the beginning, that's when people quit. That's when
Exactly.
people misunderstandings of expectations. And so
Yeah.
let's see. Just going to send the invite link in the group here real quick. So I don't know if it's going to take me off video for a second. Okay, just sent it in the chat. And I know Molly just moved into her new house, so she's still getting settled.
Oh boy, that's always a chore.
Oh yeah. So how was your week in general?
Good. My knee is feeling so much better.
Good. Are you following all the at-home directions they want you to do?
Well, they're not giving me any, but I'm basically doing what I can do of the therapy that I'm doing, at home, because there's some things that they've added that I just don't have. I don't have like a slide.
Yeah. But have you been doing the cardio? Because they said you could do a little cardio.
Yeah, I've been walking, so that's about I don't feel like I can really do elliptical yet.
Yeah. That's good.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's crazy, like how physical therapy can know exactly what to do to like strengthen the overall.
Everything.
Yeah, because it's like, when we try to do things on our own, it's like, oh, it only hurts and makes things worse. But physical therapists really know how to,
Target it.
do the entire thing.
Well, because he's giving me an exercise, like, man, you're tight. I'm like, yeah, I'm tight.
Well, that's good. Hey, thanks for joining. I think we're gonna have a low crowd tonight. We were just saying, it seems to be a really busy time for a lot of our members, but I think ultimately we need to be really active in our chats and in our conversations with getting some things planned. And so since we're all local people here, I was going to talk about two things for setting up an opportunity meeting. And I mean, seeing if we can't crank that thing out, you know, once a week, and just have different leaders practice with it.
Yeah.
And use this unstoppable Zoom, and everybody can get a chance every week to share the opportunity meeting, and maybe have like one person share their story or something like that, or maybe two people want to do every other slide. But I think that it's really good practice for everybody to get really comfortable with saying all of the verbiage and stuff. And so we can figure out when we want to do that every week. And it can be, you know, recorded, it can be live streamed, it can be whatever. And then as far as us SoCal people, we need to start getting that planned. So that is something that Elaine and I will start by, you know, getting some dates picked out, some venues, kind of figuring that stuff out, and starting to go from there. So I know our SoCal group chat has been started, but I know that that's not everybody that was at that meeting. Like,
No.
I know
Oh,
there's a
wow.
lot more.
And there were some people that I added that were on there that weren't even at the meeting either, that I know that are in Isogenics.
Yeah, so I can start asking, I mean, we can all start asking in different groups on Facebook and just saying, hey, who's in SoCal that wants to start doing events together, and get them added. So we can start doing that. So I don't know what the best date. Do we want to do a weeknight for that? Or do we want to try to do like weekend? Like, that's the type of stuff we got to figure out.
I almost think a weekend would be better in a lot of ways, because weeknights are tough for a lot of people to get out from one place to another.
Yeah, especially if we have to travel a little bit.
But then Saturdays are tough too. I mean, because you have families and kids and everything else too.
Yeah. So if we had, you know, incentive for people to come, more than just like, hey, here's an opportunity meeting. Maybe we could start putting some feelers out for some partners, and some sort of more like additional value to come to this. So if we know any vendors that want to come and like set up something along those lines, like I mean, I know somebody that does like clean wine network marketing, so like we can get her to come out. Obviously we don't have wine, so it's not like it's a competition. And so if she can find tasting, you know, like that would be a nice incentive. Or we can, you know,
A massage therapist would be good.
yes, massage, anything they can get people to want to come and get a little freebie out of it, but it's got to be, you know, worth it for any of our vendors and people to come too. So I don't have like so much time and energy to build out this big giant thing every week or every couple weeks or whatever. But like, I think if we have enough people who know enough people and can pull together, we could really make a cool experience to get some people to come and hear about the opportunity and hear how awesome we are and how cool it would be to join our team. But I did think too, you know, I've been watching some of the really, really high performing teams in Isogenics, and I've been watching some of the previously high performing teams in Isogenics, and I was noticing a couple of things. I feel like a lot of people come into network marketing on an emotional level. They come in because they need change. They get promised something by, you know, their upline. Sometimes it's not the direct person that brought them in, but it's somebody who has this really high status, and they really make them feel good and special. You know, they come in and look at all your results. They're so great. And congratulations, you've been, you know, enrolling, you've got to this rank, you've got to that rank. And it's this constant, like, oh my gosh, I feel like I'm in this community. I feel like I belong. This is great. And then as soon as life starts to happen, and maybe they're not hitting their numbers as well, or maybe they're not showing up as much, or different things like that, then what often happens is they don't get as much praise, right? Because they're not performing as well.
Yeah,
And then it turns into, I thought these people were my friends and they're not, checking in on me. They're not doing this, that. Like I've literally seen this countless times. Like even the person that brought me in, she went through some severe health issues and she was like, nobody talks to me anymore. Nobody even checks to see if I'm okay. And it was really sad to see that. But like, I had always remind her, I was said, it's a two-way street. They don't know because you're not telling them. So if you don't say, hey, I'm not doing well, I'm sick, this and that, then how are they supposed to know to check on you? And I've struggled with this a lot with my enrollments because I will sit there and pour on them and message them and talk to them and send them all this like love and support. And it doesn't mean anything to them, which means that I was bringing in people that didn't care about that type of stuff.
yeah,
On the other side, the people who are really successful, and I'm talking like Emily Ford is one, because the weekend of the optimizing influence, she was up there talking about how she was struggling for many years not having friends. And she had all these people surrounded her. She had so many people around, but like she didn't have anybody that could sit down with her and say, Emily, like you need to do this or you need to do that, or like confront her or, talk to her on a deep level. And when I heard her say that, it kind of broke my heart because I was like, I thought, we were friends, but like, it's not like we hang out, it's always
on a personal level.
related to Isogenics. Yeah. And I went to high school with her. And so like, we didn't hang out in high school. We reconnected after several years, but for her, for all of those years, for her success, for her building a team, it wasn't building a team of friends. It wasn't building a team of community. It was building business partners. It was building like that kind of more transactional type relationship. And that probably drove a lot of people away, but it also brought in a lot of really good performing, high performing machine type people. So when we look at the teams that we want to build, individually, not just necessarily unstoppable here, but like our individual teams, what direction are you wanting to go? Are you wanting to go into the, I want to have a community where we go on fun trips together, where we like enjoy, we get down on the floor with each other when we're going through a hard time. Like there were times, especially during COVID, where my Isogenics family was more like family than my own. When my dog died, Isogenics family sent me flowers. Nobody in my family, did anything, so it was like, that is what I crave because I'm such a human person.
I would say it's a mixture of both.
Yeah. Well, I was just laughing here because we were looking over at her.
I'm sorry. My husband having his dinner.
But yeah, no, I think it's really important to kind of like, see where you're at and like, who do you have right now? What was working in the past? What hasn't worked in the past? Like I have, pages of zeros in my enrollments right now. Like they're not ordering. And I, of course, in the very beginning and for really the first couple of years of the build was going through all my warm market. Now we're military family. I'm a veteran. I've got friends from the Army. I've got military spouse friends. I've got, college friends. I've got each state that we've lived in. I make friends, like different nursing friends. Like I've got so many pockets of people that I've met throughout my life. So I had a very big network when I first started. And like the people that I went to were the people that I was friends with, that I cared about. And it just felt kind of like things got muddied
sometimes, because I would be reaching out to them on month 2 or month 3, and I'd be like, hey, Jennifer, how are things going? And it never really knew when it was the right time to say, like, how was your Isagenix experience versus like, hey, how is your dad doing? I know that he's been sick. So when I was in BNI, I had a friendship relationship. A bunch of them were customers, and I had this referral relationship with them. So every time I'd meet with any of them, it was a struggle between, are we talking about referrals? Are we talking about our life? Or are we talking about your Isagenix experience? And so it's very attractive to me to have that business to business community as well.
Yeah.
Because that's when you're going to get crap done, right? Even in our just misfit group of here, Team Unstoppable, we're all from different walks of life. And like, we are all friends. That's all great. But like, we can also click into business mode and be like, all right, we're going to get down to business here. And so it's just a matter of having like that clear cut deciding factor sometimes of like, what are we doing here? Having that open communication and really deciding how you want to go and how you're moving forward with this. And so how's your content? How is your, what are you posting? What are you saying to people when you meet them? Like, it's all going to come together and show up as the overall type of business owner that you want to be. Does that make sense? Or do I feel like something I was thinking about ever since the optimizing influence, but like I was trying to figure out how to formulate it into words without trying to make anything one way look worse than the other, because it's not. But recognizing that some people have left network marketing, Isagenix, certain teams, because they thought that they were going to get a business to business and they didn't, or they thought that they were going to get a relationship, friendship building.
Well, it's like, that I left my networking group. It's like, and when I left that group, everybody disappeared. And it's not, and I do reach out to them, but it's still a different situation than what happened, because there was no connection, immediate connection, because I'm not seeing them on a weekly basis, like when you left your BNI group.
Yep. And that's they say a couple of things that I remember I took away from. I'm going to transfer inside here, so you guys are going to get some funny angles here for a minute. But a couple of things that I took away is that it takes 50 hours with somebody to really like have a deep understanding of your relationship, who they are, things like that. So they always pushed and said that in BNI, because they wanted you to know that like that's at least a year of seeing each other 1 hour every week.
Yeah.
For the BNI meeting, but like you need to have 50 one-to-ones with somebody to really get to know them well enough to know their business and to know them personally. Because I'm not going to refer somebody business wise if I don't trust them personally. And
Yeah.
so that's just a fact. But they really push that 50-hour number because it just makes sense. And so when we are bringing in new team members, or when we're bringing in a new customer, things like that, especially when they are not local, not somebody that you see all the time, somebody that, for me, most of my people that I've ever brought in were out of state. I'm going to switch here hold on 1 second.
Okay.
Okay, there we go. Thank you guys for
Oh, there's your cat.
Monty. Well, we left him, for a cruise, and so he was terrified that we were never coming back. And so now anytime we leave for a couple of hours, he's worried that we're never coming back. So
Gosh, it's funny.
and he's like 14. He's not a spring chicken anymore, but he still acts like he's
Our
not.
cat is so needy.
Yeah. Okay. Just getting everything else. Okay, set back up here. So as far as we talked about the opportunity meeting, and we'll do more of that planning in our chats. and really just figure out like, hey, is Thursday night's gonna work for everybody? Do we want to get on a rotating
No.
schedule? Things like that. And then, or if we want to look at a different night of the week, it just seems like a lot of them do end up happening on Thursday. And then, we'll start working on some SoCal ones. And then I wanted to, talk about the whole, community building and then there was something else that I had written down, right?
Probably do alternating between LA and Orange County or something like that too.
Yeah. Well, and that's what we were hoping because, where exactly do you live again?
Me?
No, I know where you live,
Oh, me and Barstow.
in Barstow. So I was gonna say, yeah, it was Barstow or Victorville. So that's like what, 2 hours from LA?
Hour and a half, more or less, without traffic.
Okay. I mean, if you had something out there, I would go to it because I've got a friend that's in Victorville that was a customer and I mean, there's a lot of military out there. So if you had an event or anything out there, like I'm sure a bunch of us would come out to it and then whatever you can come. So we can rotate through areas
What?
as well.
Didn't I see a
Maybe.
super set? Didn't I see?
Yeah. There are a lot of events going on here, but I'm afraid, I think, to be out there like by myself doing presentation or stuff. I'm just new on this marketing stuff. So
Yeah.
me and I'm trying to drag my husband with me, but he's like, yeah, I'm right behind you.
Well, we all need our support system at home too, so
he was, yeah, he usually having his shake for dinner, so it's easier in the stomach to go sleep.
yeah.
Yeah. So and then he's about to start the 7-day cleanse too in a couple weeks. So we just got it on the mail. I haven't posted anything yet, but I was taking him the picture when he opened the box today.
Yeah. Like, I mean, just do a teaser, just do something with it like in the background or like, so it's not super, like bright and obvious. You could just do it in the background, like really excited to, take a new step in life or something like that. And you don't have to say anything like obvious. And then, when you get closer, you can always go a little bit more in depth and say,
Yeah. That's why we are like going to events slowly, trying to learn the best we can. And we both veteran. I'm still working. My husband retired, so he's most of the time, at home, his appointment and all this stuff. But myself, I'm working for Erwin, so they give me the opportunity to do presentation and stuff, but I'm not ready.
that's okay, and so we could do a couple things. We could do a couple more here in like the South Bay portion of LA, do a couple down in the OC area. If you can come to them, great. If not, we can always try to Zoom them in as well. And then we'll have our online ones. And then when you're ready, then like all you have to do is set up like where can you have it, things like that. And then even if you're just not fully ready to do the full presentation, there's plenty of us that can come in and do it. And so
Yeah,
it gives that,
the talking part.
yeah.
Yeah,
I'm just like,
I've been doing a few of the, I've been using the presentation, it's getting better.
Yeah.
The only part I'm still struggling with is getting through the money part. That's the biggest thing.
Yeah.
yeah,
You
how
know,
to convince people for the money part is what it is. I mean, I have my story, my husband and his story. How we got aboard and all these and all that, we've been hearing experience for different people, but like to say it to a bunch of people, like it's different. It is
it just
different. I don't know.
takes,
It feels for me, I don't feel that like confident, I would say the word maybe.
it just takes practice and like you learn, how it flows best coming out from you. And like, and you listen to other people when they present it and you pick up on those things where you're like, oh, I really like that, how they said that. I really like how they formulated that sentence. And so, hearing Emily and Hayden talk through the presentation, well, if you go to any of the other, Wealth Wednesday calls or watch them, like listen how other people talk about the money and pick up on those little like one-liner sentences and stuff that explain how things come up, like sound better from you. And so if you're like, oh, it just sounds so weird when I say that statement, don't say that.
No,
Make-
don't think they do.
you know, it's just like people love confidence, and they will see your belief. And so if you're up there and you're like, I believe in this to the core of my being, they will see that. But if you're up there and you're saying, well, like maybe this might work for you, or like I haven't made a lot of money yet, but like I know other people that have, like, you got to be up there and you got to know what's fact, and don't let anybody like shake your core or your foundation. And so that's what takes some practice. Like, I mean, I can sit here and teach and preach about it all day, and I still get up there and I'm still sometimes like, I mean, maybe if you guys want to, like, but I mean, we all know that it's like the posture that you show up with, like
Yes,
it's the
yeah.
greatest company on earth. This is an amazing industry. You have to be so firm on that. And if you're still not sure, people will know, and people will smell it out on you. They can sniff out any like, second guessing or not being sure, so it's continuing to practice. And one tactic that you can do as well is asking some friends. Like if you have a cousin or a best friend or sibling or something, and you say, hey, Jody, I know that you're not interested in what I'm doing with Isagenix. I know you know that I'm doing this, but I have needed to practice my money pitch. Can I practice in front of you? Will you please give me some honest feedback on how I can improve? And like, you can always say it even at like, would you be opposed to letting me practice with you? And most of the time people aren't going to say like, oh, screw you. You can't practice with me. I'm not going to help you. Most of the time they'll say yes. Like,
Yeah.
Especially because you've already basically disqualified them. You already said, I know you don't want this. I know you don't. Or you can say, you're not even the type of person that I would want to partner with anyway. Like, do it in a nice way, but give them that like back door and say, I'm not trying to get you to join me. I just want your feedback because I value you. And that's another way that you can invite people to events too. Just say, hey, I've been doing this. You know that I like this. I know it's not for you. I know that this isn't something that you're interested in. I know you don't want to get healthy. I know you don't like shakes, whatever you want to say, obviously, like you know that, but I'm going to this event and I'm confident that this is the place that I'm supposed to be, but having you there to help reassure me that these people aren't crazy would make me feel good. And so they're going to come and they're going to see all these highly educated people. They're going to see all these like smart stories, these trustworthy people. And you never know. They might walk away and say, you know what? Nope, that looks like a cult. Get out of it, blah, blah, blah. Or they might say, hey, that actually looks pretty legit. Like, you never know. And so it's when I went through the accelerator program last year, one of the first things that Eric Worre had us do was basically go through all of our hot market again. And our hot market is our closest family and friends, our absolute closest people. And most of them, if they've tried it before, okay. If they haven't tried it before, he basically said to discount them first, say, hey, I know that you're not interested in this, but you know that I'm going all in with this. Would you do me a favor? Would you just try the collagen? Would you just try a 7-day? Would you just try one thing? I know that you're probably not going to want to stay on it, but if you could just do me this favor and try it one time, it would mean the world to me. It would absolutely make my day, whatever you need to say. So you're going out and you're asking your hot market straight up, no BS for an order, and they can say no. And then and then you're like, okay, cool. You don't have to keep guessing. And I did that and I got almost all no's. I think I had one person try it, but I went through like all of my family that I hadn't thought about asking yet because I had already disqualified in my head. I was like, oh, my weird uncle is not going to want this, but I never asked him. So I never knew. And he ignored me, and his fiance said no. And so I was like, okay, whatever. Like, he's the one with high cholesterol and all these other problems. It's fine. So like, that is an exercise that you can kind of go through. And like, it's hard when you get through that. Oh, I've asked everybody. I think I've gone through all of that. And then you need to start going out to the networking groups like Noah and I talk about, going to the, chambers of commerce, or going to groups that people are out there actually to build businesses. And that,
I have a question, if you don't
Mhm.
mind, sorry. I had two people ask me, they have business, and they asked me how they supposed to sell it in the store or whatever place they have snack. One person have a donut shop that he would like to sell the energy drinks and the snack. But he asked me how much this supposed to be for sale. I say, I don't know. How is supposed to know?
so what he can do is he can make that first initial investment, and he can order as much as he thinks he can sell, right? So if he wants to just order a couple cases of Bias or a couple of the e-shots or a couple of different things, and he puts it in on display, he can choose if he wants to price it at the exact amount. So he's flushing even, in the hopes that the customers get that Bia and say, dang, this is good. I want more of this. And in that case, he can put like a little QR sticker, want
Oh.
more, order here. And that QR sticker, people can take their phone and order more. And he can have signs that say, order Bia straight to your home on discount, free shipping, order here. And so he can do an entire business based off of that. So then if somebody does sign up and order one case or order 2 cases or whatever, then he can send them an email and say, hey, do you want to get your Bia for free? Watch this. Simple as that. And so I know business owners tend to be very busy, right? Like they got a lot going on. But if they want that additional income stream that could be residual, that could build a team, then that could be worth it for you to sign him up and help him with some of the back end stuff. But
Yeah, I give him one sample of the energy drinks, and he said, "Oh, nobody knows that brand, but I would try anyway."
yeah,
So like, it's
I mean,
really good. I keep explaining, the benefit of the energy. You don't get that sugar rush. Everything is natural, and they say, "Well, I like the can. It looks attractive, the orange looking, because he got the mango." I'm gonna say, but I don't know if it's gonna sell. I'll let you know.
And it's a
So
better alternative than,
he ordered one container. That's it, one package of 12, I think it comes.
well, and it comes in 12. It's all about marketing for him. It's all about that advertising. So whatever he has like in his storefront, I mean, he could go really, really unique and fun with how he shares what Bia is. Like, I mean, if you walk in, where does your eyes go to? Your eyes go to bright and flashy and like very unique words. And so if you walk into a donut shop, the first thing you're going to look at is donuts. But like,
Yeah,
if there is something bright orange, like a big sign, bright orange next to the register, wash it down with a no crash energy drink, the best you'll ever have, or something like that. People are more likely to grab it, like even if it's a little bit more expensive than say a Red Bull or something like that. If it's very flashy and has this promise of no crash, what are the things that people dislike about, energy drinks and stuff? He could advertise it like that and, see where it can go from there. And then order straight to your house. Want this discounted, order this straight to your house, QR code right here. And so, I mean, I've talked to a few different people about this idea. More people that I know that are business owners are in the hair salon or in the body works and things like that. So they're putting displays up of like the collagen and the hair revival and the 7-day resets, things like that. But like, I mean, gyms, all kinds of different places have e-shots, they have bars, like they buy in bulk and then they just sell it right there at their gym or at their chiropractor, things like that. So
Yeah, that's a good idea. I'm gonna talk about it with Hennessy next week. Well, the week after, because this week I'm gonna be going TDY, so I'm gonna be returning to Fort Irwin the first week of March.
Okay.
So when I talk to him and then I give him the idea, let's see if that works. Yeah, because it will benefit him. Well, and me as well, though. But there's a good stuff. I mean, we all like it. Now my husband is hooked up on the Enox. So he say, "Oh, do you order another box?" I say, "No, you have your account."
Yeah. It's your own. I love Onyx, yeah.
Yeah, so we are slowly moving. So let's see what happens.
Yeah. I mean, there's just so many possibilities and like, you've just got to talk to each person individually about what makes the most sense for them and what works. And that's where, it goes back to that, like, being very clear with like, hey, this is a business relationship. Right now, my gal who does body sculpting, she and I have a friendship that we built because it took me years to get her, over a year for her to finally try the product. Then when she finally does try the product, it takes me forever for her to like want to start sharing it. Now that she's sharing the product, she's sitting here like, Sadie, you're not helping me. And I'm like, what are you talking about? I have sat here and given you so many hours, like just so much time. But we have to basically say, like, this is an hour meant for working. We are working on the business. We are strategizing. We are doing what we need to do. This is an hour where we're just hanging out and going to get, a pedicure or whatever. Like we have to be very clear cut on when we are working as a business and when we are doing friend stuff. But like she has felt a couple times like I have been unavailable to her for her business side of things. And that is enough for her to quit. And that tells me right there that it is not just business related, because she knows how valuable this can be as a business. And if that was the case, she could do this without me. But she's not making an effort to meet any of the other people. She doesn't come on the calls. She's not a Zoom person. She's like, oh, family time, this and that. And so I'm like, okay, well, you have an entire leveraged Southern California team. I've invited her to every single event we've had. Something always comes up. And so I'm like, all right, well, I can't be the only one to do this business for you. Like that is also a thing too. My dearest friend, Robin Belfry, she's in my upline. She is an enabler. She does everybody's businesses for them.
Oh.
And it is, I mean, it's done her really well. She is a 6-figure income earner, all this stuff, but like she gets in this cycle with some of her people where they rely on her for everything and she has to be available 24/7.
Oh,
And
wow.
it burns her out. And so she's recognizing it, she's realizing it now. And so she's really trying to like change it. And I've had leadership experience, I've been in the military. I've been, like I've done a lot when it has to do with rallying and working people together and stuff. And so I was really trying to kind of help her and share with her how to like make the team that she had more cohesive and more like independent. But I mean, we just lost a lot of people, and a lot of people that she brought in or that her people brought in, we were really close during COVID. And then because we were meeting all the time on Zoom and we were like a family, we were a community. And then people just they went off and did their own thing. And I think because their expectation was, hey, we got really close as a friendship unit. Robin was my friend, Sadie was my friend, all these people were my friends. And then life happened for them. And when we didn't know about it, we didn't show up for them, that's when they get upset, because
It's also really hard when someone's gonna build a business for you. You don't know how to build something yourself. You rely too much on that person sticking someone on your left leg or whatever.
yep. Well, and that's like there are a lot of little details to have to understand, not only with, Isagenix, but with network marketing. And so there has to be built into your week, there has to be some sort of a personal development, learning about the business, going to a call, being a part of a team call, and there's millions of team calls.
Oh my God,
And-
yes, there are so many.
There's
I've
so
been
many,
getting so many invites, they just conflict with my time zone.
I know.
Even
Yep.
in Spain, because I was looking for a group in Spain, I mean, a Spanish speaker,
Yeah.
because half of my family, they don't speak English. So
Right,
sometimes I had to, if I wanna them
That's
to
actually a
understand,
plus
I had
for
to
us, because we
translate
don't
it.
have anybody on our team
Yeah.
that speaks
I
Spanish.
had to translate everything, all the documents, because Isagenix, a website doesn't have everything translated in Spanish.
there's a lot in Spanish. Do you have stuff in
I
Spanish?
do. I look every single link in Spanish on the page. Even the videos, the videos for the call, they
Mhm.
are they have the translation, but the code, like it's a second person talking in the background, you know?
Mm,
It's not like a you and me talking regular in English, like a real voice for the person speaking in Spanish. They don't have that. They only a few calls they are recorded. Anyway, the market for Spanish is very little, only Mexico and Spain. But I was looking for a lot of information on the exogenic business in Spanish. And yeah, I look everything. So sometimes it's kind of hard for me to look for that kind of information though. But I've been learning a lot, that's for sure.
Oh, Sadie, just so you,
Yeah.
I know you were out of town, they still have ice and lights.
oh, they're still there.
They're still there, just check on the website.
So I was deciding, so I did end up trying that HU chocolate,
Okay.
the human chocolate, and it was okay, but like, I think, I mean, it wasn't something that I was like, oh my gosh, I'm obsessed with it or whatever, but like, I think I'm okay
Okay,
for right now, not getting any, but, I mean, everybody who is an Isa Delight fan, like, stock up on them,
exactly. I'm gonna place another order for the chocolates this week.
So how much is the final price for after the discount?
For ice delights,
Yes.
it's like 20 with it's like $27 or something.
Oh, okay, that's a good price.
Yeah, because normally it's 47, so take 50% off of that, it's like $27.
Oh, okay.
Have you ever tried
Yeah,
them?
I like the salt caramel.
Have you ever tried them?
Yes.
Yeah, I can't believe they're discontinuing them.
Yeah, I even have one person asking for it. That he bought some stuff before. He said, I was looking for the website for the chocolate because those are my cheat snack. He's in the gym too. And then I said, no, they're there. And then somebody posted that they were discontinued. And then that sucks. And also I had to keep sending him the reminder that they are available. I think he got some last week though.
I just sent you some stuff in Spanish. And so that's what I had. I don't know if any of it is out of date. Because I've had this for a while, since
Oh, okay.
21. And I have a couple of older presentations too, but it's too big to send on Messenger. So
Oh, that's fine.
I would have to send it through like WhatsApp or something if you have WhatsApp. But
Oh, okay. I put my number on the chat so you know.
okay. Let's see.
Yeah, that is sometimes my conflict. I really would like to join the Spanish goal. A few of them that I present, they were really good. They were energized, and also, they're good team. But like I say, time zone is just different. Like I think their calls start at 6 in the morning or something like that for us, and then it was like nighttime for them.
Wow.
Yeah, so it was a very time different conflict. My team, my uplines, they are all in Arizona, all of them.
Oh,
So when I have the team calls and the tribe calls on Tuesdays, so I had to kind of look at the question and then getting out from work and then say, oh, is it time for the call? No, it's in 1 hour. So I had to check the time zone change.
mm-hmm.
2 hours, 1 hour behind, no, 1 hour in the back. And I said, oh my God, I missed the call. Send me the recall.
And there's a lot of really good groups out there. Like I'm on Emily and Hayden's team, And I was like always on their call like clockwork. Like I never missed it forever. And I haven't been going as much because there's so much going on. And when we started creating, you know, our own team calls for Unstoppable here, like this was meant to be more intimate, and this was meant to be more accountability, discussing, you know, topics, things like that. Like, and so some people, when we told them that we created this group, they were like, oh, I don't know why I should join this, because that's not what they need. They want to be educated and hear from the people that are making big money, things like that. Like, so go to those team calls. If you can only allot a couple of hours in a week to go to team calls, don't kill yourself going to mine and everybody else's and all these things. Like, you go to the ones that make sense for you. And so I had been going to Team Vision Cast for so long, and Robbins,
Oh,
and
okay.
all these other ones. So I had backed off from going to them because like there's always good new information, but I've really enjoyed going to some other team calls now that everybody's opening up their calls so anybody can join. I've
Yeah.
really enjoyed some of these other teams, and I'm like, wow, they just, the way that their verbiage is, how they're sharing, it's like really beautiful. And so I think it's good to get a good variety. And that's where you pick up on those little one-liners, those sentences and stuff, and you find things where you're like, oh man, when, you know, Jessica Rigner says this, it sounds so beautiful. Well, you're not going to know what she says unless you've seen her in action. And I don't have like a full on list when everybody's are, but I know that there's,
I keep getting the invitation for Sony. Sony, when?
Instagram is a lie.
Oh. Yeah, Sony's the one who'll be sending me the invitation. His group is really educative.
is
He
that,
really provide really good information. I think we saw him Thursday. Every Thursday at 5. I think it's a 5 every Thursday.
Yeah.
So the last call, there were like 110 something people in the call. And it was he brought 3 presenters to the call. Yes. So that was
I
one.
don't think
And
I've ever been to that one. That one, I mean, and you know, there's all these different time zones, like you said too. So if there's like a big team in Eastern time zone, like they usually meet a lot earlier in the day for us. So we're still at work and we're still, you know, finishing things up or whatever. And, but a lot of these, if you can find where they record them at, I follow a couple of different teams on Vimeo. And so,
oh yeah, Vimeo
Um,
too. They put it there. Sybil put her over there.
yeah, it's like, you just got to find out what their channel is called. Because I know I follow like Team Evolution, and then Trudy Maples, I follow her. And so she posts a lot of videos in there. And so like every once in a while, she'll just throw on something that she's in Arizona, I think.
Yeah, I think mostly all the big groups they're in Arizona.
Mm-hmm. And she's been a big, she's somebody that I've known about for a long time. But yeah, so you can see their recordings and stuff. So it's all about like if you can't catch something live, which is fine because, you know, we all have busy stuff, but it's like putting it in your schedule when you can watch the recordings and stuff like that. So
Yeah.
I know,
The only thing that I'm waiting for is somebody to have a presentation live for a party. Nobody has to put up like a live. It's a party already.
and that's what I was going to talk about too, is like going live on social media. And so if we do opportunities, the opportunity meetings, like streaming them live into social media so that people can watch and catch snippets of it, I think would be really
Yeah.
really smart. And it's like, it's hard to watch a Zoom on live, you know, like if you're on Facebook, you're not gonna like stop and watch a Zoom, but like if you kind of do it right, you know, that's gonna spark some interest and catch them in the right moments and stuff like that, especially during the part where it's like sharing their story, or sharing the business money part or something like that, you know. But yeah, there is an event, and I just, now that I'm at my computer, there is an event on Thursday that Robin is hosting, and it's in Inglewood. And so that I think I'm going to go to. I haven't even told anybody else about it because she sent it to me. And it's basically launching somebody's
Business.
business. Yeah, so it's Raina for Inglewood, TPRC. The Phoenix Rising Coalition is a holistic wealth and health and self with the guest speaker.
Hmm.
So there's 3 people that are speaking. It's a women's empowering gathering. So I will ask her if I can like share it and invite other people to it, but it's Thursday night at 6:30, so traffic in and out of Inglewood. Not even gonna be-
Good luck.
Yeah, I don't blame you guys. But if we wanted to start our opportunity meetings this Thursday, I would be at that, but like, I mean, even if we want to, you know, I know I could do it the next Thursday.
Yeah, there's ways that we can actually do, use like, Facebook for, because you can actually do events through Facebook too. But even
Mhm.
though people aren't really responding to events on Facebook as much, that's the downside of it.
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of different options. If we do, you know, the in-person one, then we can do an Eventbrite for that. Like, I mean, we could definitely have more of a way to capture people. We could put it on Meetup, things like that, because Elaine has I think a Meetup account. And so we've got different ways that we could advertise for that, you know, especially if we can really make it free.
I see a lot of people using Eventbrite.
Yeah,
Eventbrite, I've had a lot of success through Eventbrite.
yep, me too.
Meetup, not so much.
Yeah, me neither.
Yeah,
I haven't heard
A
about
few
that.
years ago, it used to be a lot better, and now it's just kind of, you get people that just join just to join.
Yeah, I haven't used it. I think I like looked at it once or twice and didn't actually do anything with it, but I think we, you know, we have a lot of momentum. I think starting with the online opportunity meetings, let's, you know, pick it in the chat. Like, even if we say, all right, our first one will be Thursday the 2nd at 6 p.m., our first opportunity meeting. We can throw together a quick badge on Canva. We could try to do a Facebook event. We can, you know, even do an Eventbrite. I think you can do Eventbrite for Zoom. Yeah, I've done that. And so, like, I mean, just throwing it out there and then seeing how it goes. If we can get onto, you know, every Thursday at 6, if that seems like it would work for a lot of people, then
I almost wonder if, you know, I know we don't want to jump into our other calls or anything else, but Sundays, this could be our opportunity calls too.
yeah, I mean, we
Mhm.
could do a 30-minute like a leadership accountability call beforehand, and then do a 30-minute opportunity call. Like, I mean, we could sandwich it or whatever. And then if anybody wants to stay on after the opportunity call to talk more. So, I mean, just blocking that time out.
Yeah,
I
but
know,
Sundays is tough because it is for a lot of people that go to church or whatever, they kind of, you know, just say Sundays is our day of going to church and everything. We don't do any business.
yeah, the evenings are hit or miss with people, you know, whether or not they want to sit down and do stuff. I know that the next couple of weeks, I mean, are busy for me, and I want to be able to, you know, help be a part of and facilitate as much as I can. But like, one of the points of Team Unstoppable was that we have multiple leaders and everybody can step up and do their portion of it. And so if I'm gone and on a cruise, or if I'm at a monster trucks, or I can't, make it, like other people
Someone
can
else can
step
step
up.
in, yeah.
Yeah. And so we're still getting there, and we like this is open for anybody to join. And so I haven't been recruiting, I haven't been, asking people. I know if you guys met Gus at the Team Vision Cast event, I asked him if he would come and be a speaker on one of our calls. He said, yeah, just, hit me up, but I haven't talked to him yet because I went on the cruise. And so like there's just needs to be some sitting down and like doing some focused work on this. And I really know, I know for at least the next 6 months, like I have to be very specific and intentional with what I'm doing. Because if I'm not putting it on the calendar, making sure that it's getting done, things like that, like there's just so much going on right now that that's where it has to be for me. And so having other people, the other leaders and stuff, be a part of it in the way that they can. Now, if some people just can't come to the meetings, that's fine. Can you do something else? Do you want to do this and that? And if you feel like, hey, my people need the opportunity meetings, okay, step up, be a part of the opportunity meetings. If you feel like, hey, my people won't come to those opportunity meetings, you're under no obligation to be a part of them if you don't think your people will come to them. Like, don't put yourself doing into something. And that was something that I had to have a hard boundary with in the beginning too. A couple people were really pushy about having these opportunity meetings. And I'm like, I don't have the space and time for it right now. If you want to do it, you can do it, but don't expect me to do it for you. Like, you be a part of what makes sense for you. Don't kill yourself for the other people in this team. Do what makes sense for your people. So
Yeah, and I do a lot of my own one-on-ones myself, so, I'm doing that, but it's also nice to have that, our opportunity that comes from a third party.
yep. And that's what's so good about having the opportunity meetings, especially when there's 2 speakers. So like if we do one on the 2nd, I can do that one. And then if somebody else wants to, I mean, we can either do every other slide. I talk slide, they talk slide, I talk a slide, they talk slide, or like one person can pop in and share their story. So I'll do all the slides, and then midway through it, somebody can pop in and do, hi, my name is blah, blah, blah. I've been with Isogenics so long.
Yeah.
And so,
What's our schedule for Wednesdays, for in the next couple weeks? Do you have that nailed down?
yeah, are you in the, one of the chats has the, forms link. So there's a link to, the forms that has all of our, upcoming topics and things like that. Or it's not a form, it's a Google Doc.
Some chats going on. It's hard to keep track sometimes.
Yeah. Put it in there again. So this week is overcoming a plateau, and we're talking about collagen. So I'll send that over, but
Speaking of that, did you see my collagen post that I put today?
not today.
Yeah,
Okay.
I think
None.
I
Yeah,
reposted.
I saw you shared it.
Yeah,
It was
it
a
was good. It was good
it
though.
was Costco versus ours.
Oh, yeah. That was one thing I sent Monica to share, because she has a lot of her people. She's a body sculptor. She has a lot of her people that are like, oh, I just use mine from Costco or from whatever. And so I'm like, you got to tell them why ours is better.
Yeah.
All right, I just shared that form in the Unstoppable Leaders chat, and then but I'm gonna wrap up here, you guys, so I
Okay, sounds
can
good. You have a good night, and I'll talk to you. Are we doing an hour tomorrow?
on Tuesday.
Yeah, you mentioned that.
Yeah. Hold on, let me get back to my schedule. Did you want to do it? Let's see. Did you want to start at 3, or did you want to start at 3:30? Because I'm free to start it early or later.
Let's do 3. Let's do 3.
Alrighty.
Actually, let's do 3:30. Let's see, because I have physical therapy at 2:30. Oh, boy.
Okay.
Or
You want to do 4?
Yeah, 4, yeah, because I have 2:30 and then getting home by then.
Okay. All right, you guys have a good night. We shall talk to you later.
Oh, wait, we're fine then. I was thinking today was Monday, so we're fine at 2:30
Okay,
at 3.
okay,
Good
so
night.
3 o'clock on Tuesday.
Yeah, 3 o'clock on Tuesday.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, bye, guys. Come on, girl. End.